Hey guys, it's Bradley from Dream Team Films. Just putting out a quick long-term gear review of the A7 IV versus the A7S3 for wedding filmmakers. Now guys, these cameras look more or less identical. You wouldn't be able to tell which one's which, especially if you've got a little protective case like this on, which I highly recommend doing. They're very nice form factors, which makes these cameras really useful. I know there are other probably more powerful cameras like the Canon series, but I find they're just a little bit too big for run and gun work. They're probably more suited for like feature films and stuff. When it comes to the size, the size of the A7S3 and the A7 IV is fantastic. You can run 3 of these around with you all day, have a couple on your body at all times, and it's not going to get in the way of things. So actually, yeah, one of the best features about these cameras is the size. That's why in that new creator film they used the FX3. So it's basically, and that's basically the same camera as the A7S3, just without the viewfinder. So guys, let's talk a little bit about these two cameras and the key differences and why the A7S3 is definitely worth the extra money compared to the A7 IV from a wedding filmmaker's perspective. So without doubt, the most important feature of the A7S3 is that full frame slow motion functionality. That basically allows you to handhold all day long if you want. You can get nice smooth shots without a gimbal, without a monopod, just holding the camera, and that's a really fun way of filming. With the A7 IV you do have to crop in to get that slow motion, and it only goes to 50p, which has a few drawbacks, especially if you want to shoot wide. You're not going to be able to get like a 14mm lens unless you go for APS-C lenses, and then in the end you end up having to buy more lenses, and you may as well have put that money into getting the better camera. Not only do you get up to 120 frames at full frame on the S3, it's also got a couple other key benefits, and the first one of those is having a magnesium alloy body which allows it to get rid of heat. Normally the A7 IV doesn't have any problems with this, but I have had it tap out at least once during speeches where it just overheated. Even when the thermal regulations are put to high so it tries not to turn off, I've still had it turn off a couple times during speeches due to heat, and the S3 has never had that problem thanks to its magnesium alloy body. The other major advantage of the A7S3 is the amazing low light performance and having that second base ISO at 12,800, which puts it really in a league of its own, better than all the Canon cameras and anything else I've seen really. So that incredible low light functionality allows you to use filters with more ease. You can put a filter on at night to put like anamorphic looks onto your cameras where it would be much too dark if you had that lower base ISO. So when it comes to wedding films, we're shooting at night as well as during the day, so having that fantastic low light performance really helps. So guys, the winner is clearly the A7S3. It is a little bit more expensive, but in the long run it's going to save you money on lenses and it's going to get you better results, so it's definitely worth it. I did start with having an A7 IV only because I couldn't afford the A7S3 a couple of years ago, and it was a great camera to start with. And the great thing about having the A7 IV is you get to know the layout and the functionality of the camera, and then if you wanted to rent an A7S3 you'll be pretty much good to go and know how to operate it because they're so similar. So if you can't afford the A7S3 yet, definitely worth getting an A7 IV and then renting an A7S3 for a wedding. So guys, I hope you found that useful. Both of these cameras have incredible 10-bit video. To get the best results out of these cameras, it's important to shoot log and edit in DaVinci Resolve. I've got a video on this channel about shooting log, and if you want to learn DaVinci Resolve for making wedding films, please check out my course, Resolve Weddings. I'll put the link in the description. Thanks for watching guys, see you in the next one.